Okay, hey, my name's Dan. My father and I have been experimenting with doing some lathe woodworking projects, and this trial has been experimenting with using wood pencils. And as you can see, this is one of our first experiments, and it turned out better than expected. And we've tried a few other things, and I'm going to give just a quick tutorial on what we have found. First thing is that did quite a bit of looking around online, trying to find a cheap supply of pencils, and this is the best deal I found on pencils. Purchased these on Amazon. It's a 72 pack, and it was $8 even with free shipping through Prime. If you just search for this Lolliz brand pencils, it's Lolliz, you'll be able to find them. The next thing you'll need to find is some epoxy. The cheapest epoxy I could find was on eBay. And these two 8-ounce jars, total price was about I think around $12, and that was also free shipping. We've decided to do a few more projects, and so I bought a larger quantity. This is a total of 1 gallon of epoxy resin, and it was $48 with free shipping. If you just pop onto eBay and do a search for crystal clear epoxy resin, you'll have a whole lot of options. And for some reason, I was able to find the epoxy cheaper on eBay than Amazon. So for the first project, this took approximately 100 pencils. So you can see that kind of adds up quickly in price, and it used almost 16 ounces of epoxy. Now I had quite a bit of spills, and I wasn't sealed up very good, and so I probably could have got by with less. Our next project, we wanted to make a larger vase. And so this is the next project. However, we're going to hog out the middle section of this group of pencils, and that would just be wasting a lot of pencils. And so what we ended up doing is having a sacrificial piece. This is 2 3/4 inch in diameter. That's what this piece is here. So this basically took about 150 pencils also. Two of these kits to go all the way around this sacrificial piece with 4 pencils deep. It's going to be really hard to see here, but I'll show you how we end up doing this. And this is a pretty hard piece of kit now. Oh, I should have mentioned earlier, this piece here took approximately 12 ounces combined of epoxy. That's the 2-part. So almost used all of this for gluing the whole system together. So the easiest way that I found to do this is to use some rubber bands and some handy packing tape. So this is what I've done. Rubber bands, and start adding the pencils. Like roughly all the pencils I want. And what I've been trying to do is get a stack of 4 layers deep on the pencils. Okay, so I'm just going to use regular old packing tape to hold this together and make the seal. This is going to be loud. Okay, now critical to this process is that you can't go tight with the packing tape. So I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do here. If we make this too tight, we're not going to be able to pull these pencils out. Once we start adding all the epoxy, this group needs to be light enough, or not loosely packed enough, that I can pull the pencils out, kind of jog them up and down to make sure that we get a full flow of epoxy. I'm going to make a base, and I'm just going to go around and make this totally sealed up. And trust me, this really will hold all the epoxy. I'm going to start grabbing some of the pencils and pull them in and out, and kind of just make sure I get that epoxy worked down into the pencils. I also have a little wire here that I can use to poke down into the gaps between the pencils to try to get that epoxy mixed all the way down. Also on this build, I'm going to use a small vacuum chamber. I've done a couple of these without the vacuum chamber, and it seems to be just fine. I'm going to use the vacuum chamber to pull out some of the bubbles. Give it one last little mix. They said to make sure that it's not any cloudy or milky streaks in it. Looks pretty clear to me. You notice I have this little cardboard base on the bottom. The purpose of that is when I put this in the vacuum chamber, it's going to foam up a little bit, and I'm sure it will spill over. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute, and I'm going to use my little tool here and just kind of start working my way around a little bit. And as soon as I do this, the epoxy will flow down into those cracks. Now I'm just kind of grabbing my I forgot to clean off my jaws from the last time I did this, and there's no grip on the so as you can see, these are pretty well coated here. I'm just kind of going to work some of these up and down to make sure that I'm getting a good. I'm just going to keep on pouring more in. I think I got it almost perfect. I think this is pretty much used all the epoxy it can take. And I'm going to hurry and get this in the chamber. I'm now ready to throw this in the vacuum chamber. It's been just a minute maybe to get to this point. I'm going to throw on this little wood block. It's going to ruin the, you're not going to be able to see some of the picture now, but now point of that is that some of the, when I start to pull a vacuum, some of the pencils want to kind of lift up out of the group. So we're going to start the compressor, well, vacuum. I have this side closed. And that's it. I stopped that at negative 12 psi. Okay, it might be a little shaky now because I'm holding the camera. Just wanted to have you see the pressure gauge, about a negative 12 psi, and you can kind of see the epoxy kind of foaming up over the edge. This might be a better view right here. This vacuum chamber does a pretty good job. I've only had it for a little while, but I did a couple of tests, pulled a max vacuum, which is about negative 25 psi, and shut down the valves like you see them right now, and I let it sit for like 3 days and it didn't lose any pressure, so I was pretty impressed. Here is the results of the try with having the solid wood core. It turned out pretty good. So this is the first experiment with the vacuum chamber. There's still a few bubbles in here, so I'm going to try a couple of more experiments to see if we can get rid of the bubbles. But turned out pretty nice, I think. We're going to use this as a pencil holder. What do you think? This is the very first experiment we tried with this technique, and still looks pretty good. I like the look of looking into the neck there. It's an interesting effect. And then a little preview. This is another experiment we're going to try. This is just some normal wood dowels with a couple of different types of wood, so we see the different colors, and there's also some black walnut wood dowels that are spaced in here, and we'll glue this up and get it on the lathe and see what it looks like. Again, you can see we're doing this sacrificial middle core so that we don't have to use as many dowels. That's a lot of dowels. Found a deal on eBay where it was we got 100 dowels for approximately $30, and that includes